So what in our life is going to give us the most expansion and awareness? Well, one of the things is to question. When we question, or you could see this as a quest, when we question things, when we ask questions, when we ponder, when we muse about things, then what we're actually doing is we're tapping into the grid of consciousness, which is available to all, which we are all connected to, and we're putting in a request to that grid of consciousness, and we're calling into us the answer. Now, the answer might not come instantly, but the answer will come. As soon as you start to ask, as soon as you ask a question, an answer will come, because for a question to exist, there also has to be an answer. So when we start to ask those questions, and we can ask them, we can write them down as well. Often I've got a book and I write down questions that I have. I write them in my book, and then I just let them go. And what I find that happens is I'll either be drawn to a certain book, a video, I'll overhear something, or in meditation a vision will come to me, a feeling will come to me, an impulse will come to me that will lead me to the answer of that question. So every time I ask a question, the answer comes, and like I said, it might not be instantly, but it does come. And as we start to question, well, what happens is you have more questions, and the more questions that you have, the more that starts to unfold, and the wider your perspective starts to grow. We need to sort of question things, and when we are younger, actually think about when we were younger, we are almost, I wouldn't say we're deterred from questioning things, but often when we're younger we do question. We're at, what's this, why is that? And we I experienced it myself as an adult, children that just ask why, and often as adults we can be like, we can get tired of the constant questioning, and often we will give an answer, but where does that answer come from? Is it a question that we asked and somebody gave us the answer and we just accepted it, and we never questioned whether that aligned with us, whether it was our truth? Because also when we're asking a question and we're opening up and we receive answers, and we know often when these answers come, when they align with truth, because they come to us often very synchronistically, and as they come to us, it causes a feeling inside of us. It creates an aha, it creates some kind of a shift, and we can feel for the alignment of the answer. But as children, often we are deterred away from questions because adults get tired of them. Adults often don't have the answers because they haven't questioned themselves. They've just accepted something that's been passed to them, potentially from teachers, etc. And that's not teachers are necessarily trying to give you the wrong answer, but often teachers are just passing down things they have also been given the answers to, without that search and alignment for, is that actually the truth? So part of our quest here is to question, is to go on that vision quest. Start to question. As you start to question, more and more questions will come, but as you start to question, those questions will deepen, answers will flow, expansion will happen, and your consciousness will move into, will start to move up the spiral of ascension and become more and more expanded. As we do that, well, life is just more fun. Life is more fun when you start to seek and align with truths and start to feel for truths. And also, if we really think that school taught us what life is about, the nature of reality, the nature of the soul, the nature of us, then we really are stunting our growth, because it didn't. It taught us a lot of facts, but I would question whether they are facts. But it taught us things. It crammed knowledge. Is it knowledge? I'm not sure. It crammed things into our minds that it wanted us to believe and take on, to create behaviours that would fit in with the slave system, that wouldn't allow us to find the true self. And again, that's not against the school, the people in the schools per se. That is the system, and it's everywhere. So as we start to realize that we certainly do not have the answers, we certainly have not got it all figured out. And as we start this enlightenment journey of seeking and expansion, what you actually start to realize is, holy shit, I know nothing. There is so much unknown for us to discover, but it is joyful as you start to discover those truths. And it's actually joyful to see all the illusions that we've been under and to pierce that veil. And you start, and you know, I talk about this with my friend often and say we really need to have a sense of humor about a lot of the stuff that start to unfold as you start to question, wake up, look at the nature of reality and the soul and the self and our part in reality, our connection to the unified field. As we start to do that, and we start to see some of the stuff that we believed, that we even believed and perhaps judged other people on and told other people about, as we start to see them, we need to just have a sense of humor. You know, we're going to look back at our lives, linear past, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that we've fallen for as humans in the illusion of being separate from God's source consciousness, as forgetting that we are creator beings, that we are both part of the story and the author of the story, of this epic story that we are living right now. As we start to see some of those illusions, it's gonna be funny. We're gonna have to have a sense of humor over some of the stuff that we have believed. So question, open the mind, realize there's so much to discover, that there's so much that we don't know, that we don't have it all figured out. And as we do that, life becomes so much richer.